Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sanj Majlis. This is our first episode, and we couldn't be, happier than having. We're honored to have somebody like Anurag Kashyap on our very first episode. Thank you so much for joining us. We also have Ranjan Singh over there, who's a producer with Anurag, has been his confidant for many years, right, from the last decade or so. We have Rahul Bhatt, the man who was the face of Ugly, Black Ball, and of course Kennedy. We have a senior journalist, Lekha Menon.
Hi.
And we have here Anamika, who's the associate editor of Harish Times. We have Crispin, who's the owner founder of Action Films, one of the largest production houses based out of Dubai. And we have the lovely Manju Ramanan. She's also a senior journalist and author as well, and somebody who's been here for almost 2 decades. Today's session would be more just a casual chit chat. We're not asking for any breakthroughs. We're just going to have some nice conversations. I think Anurag himself lends to a lot of great conversations. And I'm going to start off a question. We'd love Anurag to address it, and then we'll go, and it's just going to be a chit chat, and we want everybody to chime in. Anurag, if we were to strip away failures, success, reviews from a film, what does the act of creation do for you personally? What does it mean to you?
I don't know. It's maybe a compulsive disorder. Because if I'm not doing something creative, if I'm not doing something, I don't know. I can't. It's very anxiety-ridden time for me. Like I like to create. I like to express myself, and regardless of the fate of what I'm creating or I'm trying to do or express. So I'm like on a non-stop. It's like a hamster wheel होता है ना जो चलता रहता है. It's like that for me.
And was it something that like, let's go back to your childhood, because I think a lot of people know you for who you are, right from the point you started off making films and writing films. But if you go a few years earlier than that, where did the first creative seed come? When did you know that you wanted something to do with cinema?
Cinema much later. But I was creative from the very beginning. I was painting, I was writing, I was from a very early age. I was reading from a very early age. I didn't know the concept of having to do something in life didn't exist then. It was just childhood. Childhood also meant just I have to survive childhood. It wasn't like karna kya hai. That thought was not there. That what am I going to do when I grow up? I enjoyed watching films. I enjoyed reading. I enjoyed writing. I enjoyed doing things, but I also wasn't very encouraged. They were not signs of the times of a good future. So there wasn't much encouragement, because I think उस ज़माने में India was just still growing, and only 3 options all parents saw for their kids was administrative services, engineering, or medicine. There's no fourth option. So they had their own plans and they had their own dreams, and they also couldn't handle. So I was sent to boarding school very early on. So I was I grew up pretty much by myself. I think that independence had set in right from the beginning, and I was doing what I wanted to do. But the idea of wanting to get into films came in very late in my life. In the sense, in university, when I started seeing the kind of movies that made me realize that there's beyond what came out of Bollywood can also be cinema, which resonated with the way I used to think. Until I saw that foreign language films, and until I saw those kind of cinema, and until I felt that this also can be cinema, तब तक दिमाग में था ही नहीं कि cinema बनाना. Till then I was like studying. My goal was medicine and research, and I probably would have been a microbiologist. I probably would have been working on COVID vaccine.
And what was your equation with your father and mother at that point, before getting into films?
Nothing. It was a question of like a normal Indian child. Like they expected too much out of me, and that was a pressure on me. So I never really got to spend time with them in a way that I should, because my father was also constantly on the move. setting up powerhouses across India, so he wasn't there for me to see him much. My mother was taking care of the farms in the village and of us kids. So that's the reason why I was sent to a boarding school, because my father was constantly setting up a new powerhouse and getting transferred, and setting up a new powerhouse, getting transferred. And he used to set it up from the very beginning, in the sense when it was just a barren land. So there were no houses, no colonies, so we would live in the city. And he was working with his crew of people in faraway place, setting up a powerhouse. So I really didn't have much equation. My equation was with some of my cousins. And there's a cousin sister of mine who used to read a lot, so the elder one. She's the one who kept giving me books to read. Because the only way they knew how to control my energy, I had a lot of energy, was इसको book किताब पकड़ा दो बैठ जाएगा कोने में. So I started reading very early on.
And any interesting stories from your boarding school?
Nothing. I was surviving boarding school because I was very young, in the sense that somebody told my father that this boy is going to be a prodigy. So father also got overexcited. And at that time in India, what happened was, if you really look at it, there's a lot of stories that were written about prodigal child. So, you know, they used to take pride in 13 की एज में, 14 की एज में ग्रेजुएशन कर गया, BSc का पेपर क्लियर कर दिया, that kind of a thing. So I was sent to school too early. So I was always 2 years younger than everyone in my class. So like I graduated, I was 18. 18 is when people get into college. So everything was happening too early. But by the fact that I was too young, I was always constantly being pushed around. So for me, it was a survival. The whole childhood was a survival.
Ranjan, coming to you, I mean, you've been a co-producer with Anurag. You've known him for many years. What's the most difficult part about dealing with Anurag?
Dealing with Anurag? What a good question. Actually, it's actually not the filmmaking bit. That's very easy with him. So, you know, the difficult parts are the non-filmmaking parts. So, filmmaking is very smooth with him. Once, the major thing is once you're clear, like if this is the budget, this is what you're making the film in, then it's pretty smooth, because one of the things which a lot of people probably don't know or understand about him, he's actually a producer himself. He's one of those rare guys who understands filmmaking also from the producer's angle. It's very it's a great help if your director understands that, you know. So a lot of times you are not even looking of the solutions, because he's himself already thinking of those solutions. And what you heard like today in the masterclass or various of his interviews, like how his first film or second, he has always been making films against the resources, which is a producer's delight. But yeah, the other parts are where the difficult things are. You know? So yeah, that's more or less. But the filmmaking bit is very smooth with it.
And at any given point, you guys had a serious dispute
Loads
from a creative lens or from a production lens, and
creative, no. Creative, thankfully, I think we almost have the same understanding of the creative. I'm sure his is more evolved when it comes to filmmaking, but the kind of work that we do, the kind of films that we want to make, or not just the films, or the kind of system or the ecosystem that we're trying to create, I think that's our main bonding, where both of us are almost, in fact, we came together for a very similar thing, because I used to be working at a company, and we used to get these foreign films to India. That time nobody was doing it, you know, Focus Features, Miramax, those kind of films were not brought to India, you know, and I used to market them, look at, you know, trying to create a market for them. And once, like, there was this Cannes winner film, Lafon. So, and I also used to want to study, this is way back in 2005. And I was also young, so went to the box office at 9:30 in the morning to see, you know, who comes to buy the tickets of this French film. There was a man before me there, you know, with a backpack and a long t-shirt and everything, and that was him. So that way the creative thing has been there. Our differences has been mostly around people. You know how, and there I can take a little bit of pride and say I have been mostly right about people. So that's where most of the arguments are about, you know, getting some people in our lives, in work and everything. That's where the major differences are, or major conversations have happened. Otherwise, it's filmmaking, um, approach to creativity. All of those things are pretty much sorted. That's all.
Rahul, you've worked with Anurag on a couple of films. Now, whether they've done commercially well or not is a different question. But what does it do to you if a film does not do commercially well, and what does it mean to you as an actor? You must have done your best job for that film, and you know the film is great. You truly believe in it, but it doesn't do well for the audience. What does it leave you with?
You know, I can tell you something that I have not seen commercially well film till now. So the other day I was discussing with him that what this unreleased film has done for me is very is unbelievable. Actually, it has done a lot for me already. Working with Anurag is also not. It's also fulfilling as a human being, because when you work with such an interesting mind and the way he works, it's difficult to work with other people once you work with him, because he doesn't teach you. He's not a teacher. He's pure filmmaker. He makes, it's like what he does is he incubates an atmosphere for a perfect child to be, you know, birth of a child, but you have to incubate, you know, that womb has to be at the right temperature, everything has to be right, and then the actor kind of delivers, you know. So I think that he really does it very well. He knows how to inspire, he knows how to push you as an actor, and also while working with him, you know, the worldview and filmmaking at large, it's a learning process, and I think that I have been very lucky because I got to work with him. Like, we have already done 3 films, and I feel very lucky to work with him because it has not only changed me, my approach as an actor, but also it has impacted me as a human being. There's a lot of his influence in my thinking inside, because I am a Kashmiri Pandit. We know whatever the history of Kashmir and what happened. There could have been that angst in me. It's thanks to people like Anurag and Sudhir Mishra and other people who are very close to me, and it changed my worldview and kind of opened me up to be a better person. Because creative art is not only creating a film. When you're making a film, and when you're working with serious filmmakers like these, they come with a certain kind of literature, which they come with a certain kind of history, and they come with knowledge of, you know, books and history and culture and lot of things, and it rubs on you as an actor when you work with filmmakers like these. And I think I have been very lucky that way.
I have a question for Crispin.
Yes.
Crispin, you were there for Kennedy yesterday's
Yes, indeed.
screening. How far are we as a city to be able to make a movie like that without Anurag?
Without Anurag.
Without Anurag, let's assume that Anurag is in India and we want to create, you know, we need somebody like him here. How far are we from that point of identifying somebody who can be our Anurag Kashyap here in Dubai?
Honestly, first of all, you can't make a movie like that here because of the restrictions from the government and stuff like that. If you look at Ali Mustafa's City of Life 2, which I
I've
am
seen it.
also a producer on that one, they were very bold with the support of the government to showcase what exactly happens here, like kids consuming in the illegal substance, trafficking, and it was definitely monitored by the government. It has been like we had to change a lot of stuff, but honestly speaking, you know, it's a very bold move for the government to say, let's tell our stories. And also, working closely with the Dubai police, they want to tell the world that yes, there are we all read in the newspapers now. Earlier days, we should never even get to know about what's going on. Today, they also say certain things is happening in the city. So they also want to tell those stories. So we had a couple of conversations with a couple of producers, and we were discussing that subject with the police involved. They want to be part of it. So at the end of the day, you're telling a story where you say that this is a city, you're welcome to whatever, but you'll be definitely, we are, they are monitored, and they're also giving, like, the police is, it's a safe place to live and stuff like that. That's the message on City of Life 2, which is going to be probably in a couple of months, is going to be in theaters. So I already saw the cut. It was graded in Mumbai. So I think, yeah. So I don't know whether we'll be able to do what, like some movie like Kennedy. I don't think so, because also getting a gun in Dubai, to shoot is the biggest challenge. To get like even like when they do all these Bollywood movies, they're all fake guns. So you can't do a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of restrictions. Let it be Abu Dhabi and Dubai. So we also like to showcase the world that we're a safe city and things like this are not available. So also when they do films here, it could be shown as another place, another city. So they never show it as happening in Dubai. So it's always faked. So Dubai is used as a location, but they'll never showcase Dubai as a destination where you can see all this happening. You'll never be able to see that. I don't know. Probably things is going to change, but not very soon.
You're filmed in Dubai and Abu Dhabi and other parts of Emirates.
Yeah.
So which one seems to be the most open to the idea of doing something different or out of the template, or who's more daring in taking that approach? Any city that you think?
In Dubai, I think
In the
Dubai.
UAE.
Dubai anytime. So also I was with CMA last week. So basically they also trying hard. Also, like, there's a lot of permissions to do, to get guns or even in explosions and stuff like that. There's a lot. The permits takes a long time. Also, there's an authority where the scripts have been read, and there's a lot of, we need to change the scripts all the time. You can't show, like, nudity is not there. Even if it's a music video or whatever, there's the restrictions of how much you can expose or not. So I think so. Culturally, they are very, they try and protect their culture a lot here. Yeah.
Okay. Question.
But Airlift was shot in Dubai, not in Dubai, but in Ras Al Khaimah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and Kuwait was shown as the desert of Ras Al Khaimah. I mean, the deserts of Ras Al Khaimah was they converted that into. So I'm sure.
Yeah. Most times they come and use locations, as it could be Iraq, it could be Iran. So it is never like Dubai. But the City of Life is shown as Dubai. So we shot in Barsha, in a villa close by here, where there was a big young kids having a party, and they consume stuff and a lot of things, which is again the cops come in, the arrest. So it's all about showcasing how they're protecting the community as well. Yeah.
You've worked with Hollywood and Bollywood producers, both of them. What's the difference between the two when it comes about shooting in Dubai?
All
In
right.
terms of the culture or the way they operate, is it very different?
Of course, yes. So basically, like, generally when they come in here, they bring at least like 60% of the crew comes from outside, let it be Bollywood or Hollywood. So 30-40% of the crew is locally hired here. And technically, we are very sound. We got a lot of kit here. Internationally, we have literally the same standards of having equipment here. Skills also now, but mostly this market is 70% commercials, 30% features. I would rate it so. So 30%. Also, very few Emirati filmmakers are there, and also they tell most of their stories. They tell about their stories, and the cultural stories about themselves. And I don't think so. They love Bollywood films. If you go, to any theater, you'll see so many local women watching Bollywood films, and they know Hindi. Almost every Emirati knows Hindi. They speak so well. And I was talking to Vinit the other day, telling, like, Badr is more a Bollywood person than I am. So.
Yeah.
So you know so much about films, and so yeah, I think there's a big difference in how they operate, the budget-wise. Also there is a thing when they come here, they're looking for rebates mostly. So Abu Dhabi offers rebates, but Dubai doesn't offer rebate. So I think Dubai is more a friendly destination for filming than Abu Dhabi. But Abu Dhabi now, I think the last 10 years, they're really done very well. They got a lot of international projects coming in here. So I think even last week we wrapped up Dune 3 as well. So all the 3 Dunes were shot here. There's a sequence was shot here. So they go to the extension where if they want to create a road to the set, they'll build a road as well to get the crew in. They'll like, if it is 15 kilometers, they build their own road and get the trucks closer to set. So they have a different approach. The budgets are so different. So Bollywood always like, you know, they have done some big films like Tiger Zinda Hai. They built like the backlot here. You know, recently War was shot here. So, you know,
I believe the Tigers in the
Yeah, Tigers
in
in
the
the-
set was then used for a horror movie.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the same set was used
Yeah.
later because they didn't dismantle it. So we were taken on a tour to all these places.
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi had taken us on a tour, and we had to wear helmets because everything was shaky. So yeah, they do preserve that, and there is a deep love for Bollywood, not just Bollywood, Indian cinema here, because this is probably the first cinemas that I'm sure you know it, and we've spoken about it. And you told me that Bole Chudiya is the national, is the anthem, is the marriage anthem
for the Emiratis.
of the Emirati weddings. So
But talking of Emiratis, Anurag, I have a problem with Bollywood, and this is something that you'll only hear from me. The challenge is that when they want to show Arabs, it is an extremely extreme. It's so embarrassing to see the way they show us, despite the fact that 40% of Dubai's population are Indians, despite the fact that all of you have Indian friends. Producers come here, directors come here, writers come here, but the same writers, when they go back, they're going to give you a Kapil Sharma show where Krishna Abhishek will do a camel joke.
Caricature.
A camel joke. Tell me how regressive is that, and tell me what's your thought about that, because as an Arab I feel a bit that these guys come to Dubai and say,
I
"We
am
want to film here, we want
offended
to
all
shoot
the
here, we
time,
want to do things
please.
here."
No,
Look
but
at how we are portrayed.
it's a massive problem that we have in the film industry in particular, because it is the audience they're catering to. The audience they're catering to have a very fixed idea of how a Pakistani is, how a Arab is, how a Muslim is, how everybody except themselves are. That's the audience they're catering to. They're not catering to us. They're not catering to me. They're not catering to him. And they repeat the whole idea of something that the audience has already bought into. So they kind of hype it up even much more. So they're selling a familiar idea, a cliche, to that audience, because that's the audience that watches those shows. It's like I don't sit there and watch the show, or he won't sit there, and they won't have time to sit there and watch those shows or those movies. But that's something that which there's a word in India called mass. You know, they call it mass movie. So the very fact that mass movie, everything is exaggerated. Whereas a hero is a hero right from the beginning. He enters like a hero. There are 50 entry scenes for a hero. You're familiar with the hero, still after halfway through the film, he'll be entering in slow motion and everything to background score. And the villain will be a hyper villain. He'll be like, there's no grayness in the villains. They're just pure black and evil. Like, you know, so the thing is, those are the familiar tropes that they use.
And there's a lot of stereotyping. I won't name the film, but somebody reached out to me a couple of years ago and said, we want to film in Dubai, and it's a story about these, I'm going to give it away, but air hostesses, and and they want to come to Dubai, and they want to meet this gangster who's in Dubai, who's a diamond. And I'm like, you only see Dubai from a gangster lens, from a diamond guy with the hot chicks and, you know, the bling blings. And I think, they don't realize that they're talking to people who actually see Bollywood as much as they do. I mean, it's a shame that you
No, it's a very simple thing. I'm saying we have our 3 superstars, Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, Amir Khan. All of them are clean shaven, right? We have Imtiaz Ali as a filmmaker who's clean shaven with long hair. But when they show Muslims in the movie, they will always have this long beard and a mustache and coal in the eyes. And like, you know, I'm like, what, do you have your right there? The superstars are. So why do you have to make a caricature out of each one of them? So
I think it's easy to identify, like you said. And
No, so the only thing I can tell you to make you feel better, it's not just the Arabs.
Yeah.
It's
all of
look
us.
at
All
China,
of us, all
the
of
way
us.
Chinese are dipping. Forget even
Northeast.
outside,
Our
inside
own
India, our
Northeast
South
way.
Indian characters in the film just still have the Chandan
Yeah.
Tilak.
Yeah.
Punjabis are only talking oi hoi. Right,
And
he will
South Indians
enter
are
with a
only called
Bangla.
Madrasis.
yeah, all of them.
Matlab, there's no Malayali.
So Bombay
or
ke niche sab
Kannadiga,
Madrasi.
all
As
Madrasis.
someone who watched and hated Param Sundari. I want to know, do these filmmakers know what they're making? You think
They
they're
don't know.
targeting
They
for the
don't know.
audience, but do they
And
know that
people are
they're doing
liking
this
it.
deliberately
They
or
have
they're
no
just
idea.
doing
They
it?
don't do any homework or research.
And
The
people
idea
are
of
liking
research is
this.
not
Param
doesn't
Sundari
exist.
was
Well, as
liked.
long as people like it, this will keep
That's where
happening.
the thing is. So most of the cinema created in whatever the frame we are
Yeah.
using, Bollywood, is more business. So as long as it's working, they are playing with it. So
But do you think it has gotten worse in
Yeah.
recent years?
Yeah,
no,
Because there
absolutely.
was a phase when you still had some semi-intelligent.
But that was a very
No,
small
I-
phase of 10 years.
I
It
personally
got over in
think
2015.
it has been always like this. Matlab, I can name films from 60s also where your caricatures have in fact come from there. So like to use one of his lines, most of our writers write from the films that they watch, not from life. Right. So
Yeah.
because they have been seeing like Padosan, if you remember, Mahmood Sahab was a great actor, but the character still was very stereotyped,
Yeah.
right? So those characters have always been there. Like I remember, in fact, today we were talking Coolie. You know, Amitabh Bachchan sir has a great song, Madina song and all. But you look at the film and the characters were always there. Like Abdul Rahim Rahman had to die for the hero, right? Because he was the hero's best friend all the time. You know, so I don't think it has gotten worse. It's being spoken about more, yes, because there's social media. There are more people now. You are talking about it. But I think it has always in the Hindi mainstream cinema, the stereotyping has never gone.
It's in their blood. They don't do it deliberately.
I'm saying, but you won't see it in Malayalam
Right.
cinema is
Yeah.
growing a lot. You won't see in Tamil cinema.
So there is
But those are the only
there
two.
is an economic reason also for it. See, that's the interesting part. See, Malayalam cinema now, once you know that this is my market, there you can't cheat, right? If a Malayali filmmaker or a Malayalam film is making, he can't cheat a Malayalam film in Kerala. The thing is this whole term called Hindi film, where your market and India, normally we have more than 30 languages, right? Not even going into dialects and all. Now you're catering to that entire market. Now exactly is where this whole economic thing comes in, and that's where you can't like go nuancing for every character. You know, like Hum Aapke Kaun, I think the whole jute chupana probably became a thing after the film.
Are South Indian weddings now all have
Exactly.
Hindi and
I
know. Yeah.
all those ceremonies.
Yeah, our
So-
weddings used
Be
change
similar,
after
no?
Dilwale Dulhaniya Le
Yeah.
Jayenge and
Yeah.
Hum Aapke Kaun.
But technically, if you see the wedding events which have been shown in Hum Aapke Kaun, I don't think there is a single region which does all of
All
them.
of these, yeah.
Nobody questioned him.
Hmm.
कि ये कहाँ की शादी थी, यूपी, बिहार, पंजाब, राजस्थान, गुजरात. Everybody loved the whole thing, right? So it's also the economic thing, you know, like when you are catering to such a big market. You look at it in a broader lens, see, when Hollywood also shows, they also have a lot of stereotypical, right? Because they are always saving the world. It will always be an American saving the world.
Yeah.
And then they will have specific tropes for
Who are their
most of the
friends and-
regions,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, they also have same.
Yeah,
kind of-
because they are also having the same problem. Yeah, they are trying to cater to a market which is beyond languages, beyond regions, beyond a lot of cultural things. But specific industries, they do it the right way.
And they also, like Hollywood now, you see because there's a lot of talk of diversification in like, you know, in the English speaking world. So now you see all the films, they'll have a Chinese actor, they'll have an Indian, they're trying, because they want to reach the market, they'll have a representative from every,
But a lot of time it's just checking the boxes. They don't
they're
suit
just
the thing.
checking the
That's it.
boxes.
And also some influencers, probably.
Yeah.
Who has the numbers.
All checking the boxes. So, hey, but that's why, which is why, you know, for me, it's like there's a kind of an independent thinking, minded filmmakers, independent cinema matters a lot. That also probably the marriage of independent cinema and trying to tell the story in a way where it can be little bit mainstream, because cinema does cost money. So
Because
that is
independent
something that
music has done well in India.
similarly it will also start affecting. But filmmaking
Is-
वो थोड़ा सा जाएगा, because filmmaking, like, you know, all the old filmmakers always used to say, whether it's from Orson Welles or somebody, they used to say filmmaking is not for academics, but now academics control the filmmaking. because they said they study film. The earlier filmmakers did not study filmmaking; they created filmmaking. But now filmmaking is being taught, and from film schools, the filmmakers that are coming out, they're making same kind of cinema.
Because the
Mostly.
stimuli is the same. They
Because
learn
also
from
a
the
lot of
same
Emiratis,
textbooks.
they're studying abroad, filmmaking. And I'm sure whether you know, like they all go to London Film School or New York Film Academy. There was a New York Film Academy in Abu Dhabi as well. So I think they're influenced by, you know, the Western films and like, you know, what they've been taught. So also see, I'll be very honest. Now we're doing a feature film in Saudi, but it's a Saudi film, but it's an American director who doesn't know the culture of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So if you straight away, right from the beginning, you have messed it up because you chose the wrong director. So it just should have been, and they're now getting people who guide him to say all the what has to be done. Even in a commercial, you've got to be very particular how that agal looks in. You know, like before you know, so there'll always be a Saudi person, you know, monitoring how you wear that stuff also, because you can go something and go wrong, and you'll never see the film again. You know.
But there's an important point that you made about education of cinema, and we were having this discussion before we started rolling about the education of cinema, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Like I was watching.
No, I'm saying it's a good thing, but my problem is when they teach theory. I'm saying-
Templated thinking.
I'm saying teach practicals.
Okay.
You teach people about camera, you teach people about sound design, you teach people about filmmaking process. But what happens is the thing that is harming most of the art is the theory of the art. The theory of the art comes from an academic's perspective of interpretation. So my thing is when I make my films, and my films are interpreted by a lot of PhD students and they send me their PhD, I'm like, oh, I don't know what film they were watching because they're interpreting my own film and they're telling me things that I didn't see or think of. So there's a lot of times, and those PhDs become the basis of a lot of
Curriculum.
interpretation of a film. So now there's a time the filmmakers made films and they were only trying to make films. And the academics started looking for metaphors in it,
Like
which were not
literature.
intended. Like it happened in literature. The metaphors weren't intended. People found meaning in it. And now that metaphor is becoming filmmaking. The new lot of filmmakers are thinking of metaphors and putting it in the film, and it is becoming all about, like, you know, we are putting in these deep layers of things which is actually not from life but from academics. Which is why a lot of, if you see art house cinema, is getting very affected. Like I always say that, you know, when films go to festivals, the categories I would not send my film to. Like for example, if you go to Cannes, in uncertain regard, if your film plays and it doesn't win, it's lost forever. You'll never see that film ever again. It's dead. Because it's a graveyard.
Why?
It does not.
Why is
huh?
that?
Why?
Why? Because you know what happens is, in a festival, if a film doesn't win, it dies. We have so many Indian films that have played in that festival, like recently, like they die. But if you go to Directors Fortnight or you're out of competition, then every film is an equal.
So there's no
They all
competing.
find buyers. And also psychologically buyers think they'll be commercial.
But
so the
how-
moment you go to uncertain regard, you're dubbed as an art film. And if you don't win, then you're a non-saleable art film.
But the very idea of competition, how do you agree or disagree with it? Because how
I
can
mean,
you
the main
compare?
competition always plays the masters, already known people. There are very few new filmmakers every year. They repeat the same filmmakers who probably doesn't matter good or bad films.
Okay.
So the thing is, I always try to stay away from,
New.
like, you know,
you
no,
look
try
for
to
new.
stay away from where the graveyard. I call it the graveyard. I try to stay away from it. So it's very important that, you know, and which is why a lot of filmmakers who make films from industries which, from countries that don't have a film industry, they take 10 years to make a film. Because the whole process of raising money and everything, it becomes a long winding process. And you see a lot of films getting lost and they follow the same template.
Manju, I think 17 years for Ali to do his second sequel.
17,
17 years. City
For?
of Life 1, City of Life 2.
17 years. in
I
the-
saw
Emirati
City of
filmmaker
Life 1.
To make a film.
So it becomes your film gets stuck there. So I recently, like, there's a film that I've been wanting to see since last year's Cannes. It played it in Cannes last year, and it won the Best Actor in Uncertain Regard. Luckily, I found it on the flight in Emirates.
Oh, okay.
I was just pure lucky to find the flight in Emirates, and I saw the film. But otherwise, that film is not available. Or a filmmaker like Julia Ducournau, whose film Titan won the Palme d'Or and was available everywhere. Her new film Alpha is not anywhere because it didn't win.
So there's no space for such films?
No, it will come out sometime later on Mubi. And how many people do see Mubi? It doesn't, like, except
Register.
for cinephiles like us. So what happens is the filmmaker slowly starts losing. So filmmakers celebrated suddenly starts losing relevance.
Credibility.
There's a film that called Son of Saul that won the Palme d'Or.
Yeah.
That filmmaker had a film at Venice this year. In between he made a film, but slowly it's
Fading.
people have forgotten the filmmaker, Laszlo Nemes. Because it's like, where do you pitch your film and things, and they're also looking for that glory rather than thinking of making the film reach the audience.
I don't know, there's a section of an audience who thinks that you are enamored by the film festivals and the European cinema and the
No, I'm
international
very
cinema.
clear about the film festivals. Film festivals is a marketplace for me. See, I always tell people, film festivals are not Olympics. Like, I for the longest time struggled because when my films initially were banned, and I was told by filmmakers, "Sir, I don't know what kind of cinema are you making? Is Black Friday a documentary or a drama? Like, is it even a film?" A film critic went on to even write that. And I was confused. So I started traveling and I realized my film is being very well received. And nobody defines what a film is. Who gets to define a film should be this or that? So I started using the festivals to come back to India. So my films really went to the festivals to release in India. And literally it happened because of Black Friday getting pirated, and Danny Boyle, while winning the Oscar of Slumdog Millionaire, talked about my films. So India became curious
picked.
about my films.
So it's like foreign return.
Foreign return. So it's like ये बाहर से पढ़ के आया Oxford. ऐसा हो जाता है. And then people started getting interested in my films. Devdi and Gulal went to Venice. Udaan, nobody was interested in Udaan. A studio that released Udaan got on board after it was selected for Cannes. So my way of bringing the films to India was through the festivals.
Got it.
So I use festivals for, like today I get funding. So I don't need festivals as much. It was easy for us to make a choice of let's not go. It's easier today. But going to the festival, it kind of opens up the market for you.
Even today?
Yeah.
It does. Yes, it does. And like if you use festival as, so when people say we're making film for festivals, I don't understand that. Festivals, what do you mean by making a film for festivals? The film costs money. How do you make a film for festivals? Where festivals don't pay money like that. I'm saying you play a big festival, then smaller festivals pay you small amounts of money. You get slowly small amounts of money. They go into a kind of a kitty that for the producer gets confident to release the film. You play a lot of festivals across the world for a year. You do the festival run, you built an audience, you built the hype, you built everything, and then market is ready to receive a film. Otherwise, if you make a film like say Kennedy and just put it out in the market, it'll come and go, people won't know. So you use all those things and you create a market for the film, and then you put the film out in the market. And then audience watches it, and that's become the reason of how we survived for so long and kept making films. So festival is purely a marketplace. So the way people see festivals is very different.
But also, like the observation that you said, that it seems like if he is more interested, but that observation is only coming because we are operating in a market where these two things are considered different, right? Like there's an Anora which also wins the Oscar, but it also does very well at the box office. So if you're making a film in those markets where festivals are not seen as aberration, they are in a natural journey of a film, that you make a film showcase it to the best cinephile,
Hmm.
and then go into box office. It's just in the market that we're operating, these things are considered, oh, ye to ye hai.
Hmm.
Which is not the fact. Like for a normal film, it can go at festivals. The best films which win eventually go into a lot of box office.
Hmm.
It's the Indian film space where you think, oh, this is a festival, which also is not very old. I think it's what 80s is when, late 70s is when this whole term came. These are art films.
Hmm.
Art house, yeah.
Before that, I don't think it was there. Chetan Anand Saab, Vijay Anand Saab, they were making films which are working, which are being going,
Yes.
Mother
Mother
India
was
played.
Oscar nominated.
Hmm.
So that time there was nothing. But this whole definition about कि ये वो film है और ये वो film है. The new term is, of course, this is an OTT film and that is a. It's just a thing. It's in a market that we are operating. Otherwise, there are so many evolved film markets where it's a natural production. You make a film, show it at a film festival, release it at a box office.
And
Sell
especially,
it to
especially in countries which does not have an industry, if a film plays at a big festival, it becomes a cause of celebration
Hmm.
So
because
Which
they
are the
make one or
Indian
two
film
films.
festivals that you would like? Mami's stopped, right?
no, it's not happening
But
this
not
year.
happening.
Mummy does not make or break a film. Mummy doesn't have the power to make or break a
So
film.
why can't we have a powerful film festival? Because we have the budgets, we have the market, we have
No, it
It
doesn't
will
work.
require consistent hard work for a lot of years.
It's consistent.
Look at
hard
the
work and
biggest
plus-
five, the big five, Cannes and
Uh-huh.
they have been at it for so long. They've really looked
They've
for
really
the
been
filmmakers,
consistent and have
empowered them.
cinephiles.
Yeah.
See, in India, if he has a lot of government interference,
Okay.
they
yeah.
don't let
Yeah,
films thrive.
Hmm.
I'm saying, look at it now. You had a film called All We Imagine Is Light, which won at Cannes.
Yeah.
But if he would not play the film, they would not even send that film as an India entry from the Oscar.
Yeah, they didn't.
Because that filmmaker was involved in the film school protests
Yeah.
against the government.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it becomes political.
So the
and-
filmmakers are like living in Paris and
and
being
then-
supported by France.
And then,
Then
you
a film like Santosh, which was an
Which is not
English
even
entry for the
released.
Oscar, they refused it to release in India. And the biggest thing of IFFI, Peter Brook's Mahabharat,
Yeah.
which is the most celebrated film of all time, which was supposed to open the festival. They did not get censor exemption because how can an Englishman make Mahabharat? The most celebrated film of all time. It's been restored.
Yeah.
It was invited. You should see the Sun's interview. It was almost like I just got dumped by my wife. I didn't know. I was invited. I was sent an invitation. And the film is not playing at IFFI. And they did not even tell him that. So I'm saying that kind of a, they think they're doing great. They're just losing all credibility and respectability. Like few years ago, the jury head Nadav Lapid on stage called out the Indian government.
Yeah. And of course,
On
then
stage,
he's-
he called out for playing their own propaganda film
yeah,
with caricatures in the competition section.
the national awards.
National awards have gone.
It's very
completely
so
lost.
that kind of a thing of so that is not going to happen in India. We had a great festival in Delhi.
Yeah. Oh.
The Kerala Film Festival was very good. So the good people are not there. The Delhi Festival got over. Delhi Festival focused on Asian, Asia Pacific, Arab world. We used to discover films from the Arab world and all the Gulf region and Asian films. And they were not focused on European films. They were not focusing on American films. Their focus was this Asian Arab films.
So if fear stunts growth like this, what do you see? If fear is your
No, I don't know. Whatever
the
it
basis
is.
of it.
See, I always say, you live with the mandate of people and you have to find your way around. You have an option to leave or you have an option to stay and find your way around. If people can make films in China, in Iran, and still somehow do it, then we can also do it in India.
I know the Mami Festival this time just got cancelled.
There's no funding.
How is that possible that a film festival in Mumbai does not have funding? It sounds a bit
Yes,
it
absolutely.
feels very strange that you don't have funding for
Yeah.
a film festival in the heart of the film
Yeah.
center, one of the film
Everybody
capital
feels
of
so
the-
much
it was being
money.
funded by Geo
Oh.
and they
and
plugged out.
they pulled the plug.
And nobody
So
else
nobody
came
else
in?
can step in. I mean,
Somebody has to make the effort. So Mami and Film Heritage Foundation is run by the same person now. So he is also focused on restoring films.
Okay.
So he is having tough time with both. He's constantly trying to raise awareness and things. He's very passionately driven. But no, there's no support for him.
Can you talk to us about the rise of the biopic?
Biopic is nothing. We have not made a single honest biopic yet.
But it's everywhere.
We haven't made a
It's
single
working.
honest
But
biopic.
why are we? It's working.
Yeah.
It's working because all the biopics are very convenient. They celebrate
There
people.
are
too
vehicles
soon.
too.
They're more whitewashing the image.
Yeah.
Huh?
Veera Nair is shooting one very soon.
Yeah, no. I'm sure there'll be good biopics always, honest biopics always. But see, it's all, like I said, most of these films are also business for a lot of people who are making those films, right? So as long as it's working, they'll cater to the audience. So,
More than filmmakers wanting to make biopics, the people who are trying to sell their life stories to make filmmakers saying that हमारे ऊपर film बनाओ, यानी ये क्या हो क्या है? And everybody self-publishing a book
Yes.
and sending it to you by dozens. I get so many dozens of books which they've written. It says, do you think there's a film in it?
Does this happen also in Hollywood?
I don't know. In Hollywood, they pick up stories from various places and they make films out of it.
Recently, there was a Formula One film, and then there's a Nike. So they've also gone the biopic route as well. But I don't know how honest they've been to the.
A Formula One film is fictional film.
But they're not necessarily, even Hollywood is not necessarily complex about the characters they do biopics on. So, that's one commonality we have. So, why do filmmakers, whether in East or West, in the more mainstream space, why do they shy away from projecting a person with all his complexities?
No, they want people to come out only. People whose lives they are making a film on, they also get involved. They don't want to show their flaws.
Unless the person is dead.
Yes.
They don't want to show their flaws or mistakes.
Then their kids will show up.
So also they
Destroying my father's
themselves
name
don't
or
want to talk
mother's
about it. Like,
Community will come
go
up
a step back. How many good biopic books are there?
Yeah.
You know, who I think it's a bigger cultural issue. Probably the subcontinent or whatever. The way when we are ready to tell our stories, most of people don't want to tell their flaws. While probably in the West, they are okay after a certain point in their lives, they are okay to talk about the mistakes that they made. Like, there are countries where, they put out the entire government decision making process after 30 years or something. Like, it's there in UK, I think. You can go back and study how or why those decisions were taken in the 70s or 80s. After 30 years, it's public knowledge. So that you can go learn from the mistake. I don't think that's there in
You
the
can't take
subcontinent.
certain people's names also, no?
खुद ही नहीं बता रहे
खुद ही नहीं बोलते।
उसको खुद की गलतियां नहीं बतानी, उसको सिर्फ बताना है कि मैं तो चैंपियन ही था फर्स्ट
You
डे
can't
से
take
सिक्स नहीं
the names
मारा।
of some people.
हाँ,
in
मैं
the-
बचपन में
in
देखा
the
वो
films.
बिल्डिंग है, मैं बना
Sanju
दूंगा।
was
You
a
can
very
refer it.
bizarre
That's how we
film.
tell our stories. So it's the guys who are see,
Sanju movie
biopics
was
are
so bizarre.
also dependent upon the person, right?
Minusing all the people.
But
So-
what are the biopic books that you've liked from the Hindi film industry, which are honest? I have liked Devanand, so
Devanand's book.
Devanand's autobiography.
देव साहब ने सब बोल दिया उसमें.
Quite a bit.
But he loves himself so much. He loves his
Dev was a
mistakes
great
also.
guy.
Yeah. So
हाँ, but वो कोई बनाएगा नहीं. See, I'll tell you, it's very difficult to make honest biopic in India.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. Like, I have been approached so many times to write a book about myself, and I'm like, I can't. If I speak the truth, a lot of people will get offended. If I don't speak the truth, there's no autobiography. Right? And I've seen a lot of people who have done things. Like, I know Nawazuddin, when he wrote a book,
it
book
became
came out.
such a
he had to withdraw the book. The
Controversy.
book had to be withdrawn because the person is too naive and too innocent and said everything. A lot of people
All
put cases
biographies
on
are
it.
lies. That's
So
what I
the
wrote
thing
once.
is,
all autobiographies
I
are
wrote
lies.
once.
it is very, very, very difficult. How do you make an honest biopic? You cannot. If you make a film out of Devanand's book, देवानंद साहब तो बोल के चले गए. करेक्ट. आप फिल्म बनाओ तो उन्होंने जिनके बारे में बोला आपको सबसे परमिशन लेनी पड़ेगी, नहीं तो नाम चेंज करने पड़ेंगे. It's the same thing because it doesn't. I remember when we were writing a biopic on Gurudutt, हमने इतनी रिसर्च की, हमने 2 साल तक रिसर्च की, सबसे बात की, सबने कैमरे पे बात की. जब हम बनाने गए, हम लिखे, हमें की परमिशन ही नहीं मिली
अच्छा
कि आप गुरुदत्त साहब को तो दिखा सकते हो एज ए गुरुदत्त, बट बाकी लोगों को नहीं दिखा सकते, उनके नाम बदलो. फिर द डायरेक्टर डिसाइड, आई वाज जस्ट राइटर, द डायरेक्टर हैड टू शेल द biopic.
Yeah, I had a question about Kennedy last night. I was watching it. So the last scene, your character, he sends the evidence, right, and all the basically like a confession, sending it to the government and the authorities, who actually has the system rather, who has actually used him as a pawn. So how does the character actually trust a system that is actually used?
He doesn't trust, but that's the only thing he can do. He sends it to the government, not to the policeman and things. And the thing
But
is like,
it's a
no,
next.
but yeah,
And
but
he
that's
sends
the
it
only,
to various.
But that's the only
There
for
could
me
be other
plausible.
people. It's
Okay.
not the same guy
Home
who's
and
using it.
That means was he hoping that there would
Yeah,
be?
that's the
would be.
only plausible action he could have taken. Otherwise, हम लोग का हिंदी फिल्म में नॉर्मली क्या होता है, ये जाके भिड़ जाता सबसे, सारे पुलिस वालों को गोली मार रहा होता. वो हमें दिखाना नहीं था. हमें दिखाना है
This
plausibility.
is what they wanted.
This is what they wanted.
And
saying
just like
हमारी
do
फिल्म
what
ही
you
नहीं
want
वो.
with it.
Yeah,
right.
blood-
bloody
No, no, why is he
climax.
trusting?
Would have made it a
trusting, but
complex-
system that is
Because he
actually-
has no other option but to trust only them.
I don't know, talking of OTT, clearly there was a Bollywood before OTT and Bollywood post OTT. I mean, when these big American digital companies have come in, I think it looked like a very good kind of a refreshing innovation, saying, okay, these guys are now going to tell us different stories. What's your opinion about where they stand today?
Nothing. It's the same thing like social media. All the promises of social media
But why?
turned out to be, because at the end of the day, the moment you are on stock market, then it becomes about investors. It becomes about
numbers.
valuation
Numbers.
and numbers. It has stopped being about cinema.
But did you see that coming?
In the beginning, I thought, oh my God, it's a boon. But no, I should have seen that coming. But
You're a pioneer with, of course, the Sacred Games.
yeah, no, but the thing is like, it at that time there was no India office. It was approved in the US. The moment the India office comes in, things became Indian.
It's also about the audience.
It's also about the audience.
Because ultimately it's numbers, commerce, what is
Which goes back
working.
to the
Because I think when these guys came to India was the most, the similar time they went to countries
the
like
thing
Korea.
is, problem is India's population is so much that, like they say, data is the new oil. So all the companies are coming to India for data mining.
right.
And where Hotstar, Jio Hotstar scores, which is 10 times the Netflix subscription,
Cricket.
is because of sports. Actually because of sports, right?
But
It's
is there a
not really
cultural
full-
difference between, let's say, an Indian OTT and an American OTT? That's an
The
Netflix or
choice of
Hotstar.
films are different.
Any
Huge.
cultural differences?
The viewers are
Yeah.
Indian, so obviously that.
Yeah, no, from a organization lens, when you work with
Okay.
them as, as an entity, do they have
No, the
different?
sensibilities are different. And what happens is like every company that has come into India, it's not, see, Netflix came in later and Amazon came in later. But there were Warners that came in before, Fox came in, everybody. They come in and they can't crack the Indian market. Then they leave it to the same people who have been running the Indian market. Then things become the same again. So literally, if you see, my entire career is based on having been the first to do film with every studio or a platform. So in the beginning, when they want to break in, they can't find anyone, they find me. And after me, then they move on to the bigger things. And then I'm like looking for the next one that's coming in.
So you're Ganesha for them.
My friend Ganesh.
Why do they always land in Bombay, in Mumbai, when there are parallel cinemas?
They also land with the same people.
No, market.
Yeah,
Market.
it's a much bigger size.
Market, yeah.
But today the dynamics are changing very swiftly with the South emerging. How do you guys look at that shift happening? Because obviously today
Because South has a very simple thing. They're primarily catering to their own market.
they still do, or are they still?
They're primarily catering to their own market. And then what happens is it expands because they're at least true to their own regional. Because if you see Malayalam, Tamil films, the actors do speak Tamil, Malayalam. Then Hindi films are being made in a state which is Marathi speaking. And it's in the city, Bombay is a city that's English speaking. The base of Hindi comes from UP, MP, Bihar, where not the industry is based,
The Hindi belt.
the Hindi belt. And so all English speaking people are trying to make films for the Hindi belt.
So when the script is written, the script is
In
written
English.
in English, even
Most-
if it's a
most,
Hindi.
uh,
Mostly,
Yeah,
mostly they
mostly.
write in English.
Okay.
Even you?
Right,
And
Hindi
then
script in
Roman.
English.
I write in
Then
Hindi.
Hindi is also written in Roman.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Because they don't even know how to read it. The new generation doesn't know how to read Hindi or write Hindi.
Yeah, because Hindi medium schools are also declining. If you look at
Yeah, it's
not
totally,
just schools, but there is. I also wanted to ask you about the horror comedy genre because right now that's.
everything becomes a trend and then trend becomes a formula. So it's, if you look at it really, it's it's on a slow decline. So there's a peak and then there's a decline. It's every 10 years the cycle keeps going on. The pan-India thing is also now killing them. It's killing the industry.
When did you first get interested in Malayalam films? Because now you've been championing it so much. So when did you first?
My partner was Rajiv Ravi.
Yeah.
You know, my son,
So since then,
he's the one who kept
because
introducing
we had some
me to
great
Malayalam
films in the 90s. Then it now
Yeah,
again.
he's
it's,
the one who showed me old films also.
Oh, okay.
And then Lijo, Pellissieri
Yeah,
and all
of
these
course.
people, through them. And now I know almost all the industry.
So, what are the films you will absolutely not watch?
Hindi films. I rarely watch it unless I have not heard too much about it. I don't watch it. I don't watch it till I've heard. If I've heard too much about it and from people that I trust, is only then when I watch Hindi films.
Like Animal.
Animal? Yeah.
I saw Animal now because I liked the trailer. I saw the Animal and then I had a problem with it. I had massive issues with it. It took me some 40 days before I called the filmmaker home and I had a long discussion about the film of 4 or 5 hours.
It was also a brief moment of praise for Sandeep Reddy Vanga, right?
No, as a person, when you talk to him, he opens up. So that's why I felt like, when you attack him, he'll attack back. But I believe in talking to people. So when I talked to him, he opened up very honestly.
I would have a question for you. You've done television in the early years, then you've done movies, and then you've done OTT. Which one gives you the most creative satisfaction? And what's different in essence in working for television versus movies versus an OTT show?
It's basically acting is, you cannot do some less acting in some medium and do some more in some things. But what gives you satisfaction is when you work on a film with an interesting filmmaker. Seriously.
So regardless of the
You know.
platform, regardless
Yeah,
of the
it can be
format.
anything. It can be an OTT, it could be a stage theater, or it could be when you are working with an interesting mind and you see that everybody else is very serious about it. And that gives you the most satisfaction. It could be anything. At the end of the day, when you know the whole team is working now, we also get carried away. We were doing the worst thing and we think we are making the best thing in the world. But as long as we are thinking that we are making the best thing and you're having fun, for me, I love what I work as an actor because I just love this work. I love acting. I cannot do anything else. I love acting. And just give me a piece of paper and tell me that, okay, you have to act and I will be very happy. Okay, let's do this. It could be smallest thing. I could be working with the biggest of the setups, or it could be the smallest of the setup. For me, it's the same. But I just want to, it's very important for me that I work with a director who is really, because I work only for one person. I feel I only work for director. I don't care whether this film is going to be a super hit or whether the audience is going to love my work or not released at all.
Doesn't it make you
No, I
upset
don't
when
care.
a film?
I don't care. I don't have that insecurity of becoming a superstar or becoming a star. Now I had that earlier when I came, because when you are a young guy and you are brought up on Amitabh Bachchan films and Shah Rukh Khan films and all these, and you look up to them and you say, oh, this is what I want to be. I want to say a line like this, the way he said it. But then, when you learn a little
And
bit
life happens.
life happens and you go through cinema and you understand those great filmmakers. It's not that today in India we had Smita Patil, we had Shabana Azmi, we had Nasir, we had great actors in India. They have done. It's not that we are doing something new today. It's been happening since so many years. From 50s, we had some great filmmakers and great actors, and they all have been, adding. And when you see their work, you feel like Omji, the greatest actor I think we had in India was Om Puri. Irfan, and of course all the great actors. But I feel that when you love your job, it doesn't matter after that whether it's successful. Because I am living my life, the life that I want to live. As long as I am living that life, in my mind, I am enjoying what I am doing every day. And now I have only one point with me, that I don't want to do the work which I won't enjoy. I don't want to work with people who I, feel that I'll be frustrated on the set, because sometimes that happens. So then I call him and say what to do. Now I am in trouble. Tell me.
I don't know, did you ever think of theatre? I mean, because there are a lot of pseudo as well, where a lot of actors say, you know what, I've come from theatre. They think they're superior to you.
No, I have
Culture of theatre.
I've done a lot of theatre. I enjoy theatre, but now I don't have time for it, because theatre demands a lot of time. So
They might be, in fact, superior. There is nothing wrong in being
Yeah,
superior.
theatre is
But
great.
at the end of the day, it is, an actor can be very bad in one film, and he can be very good in another film. We have got some very big actors who were very bad in some films. It's not that they were not bad. And they were brilliant in some other films. Because this is an art which is dependent on other people. I'm not a painter. I cannot go and paint myself. Then I will be responsible for this painting, whether it's shitty or it's great or it's amazing. But I'm an actor, so I'm dependent on an audiographer who is here. I'm dependent on him, how he records me. I'm dependent on my director. I'm dependent on a writer. Everybody's writing this film at every stage. I'm dependent on an editor who is, picking my shots and deleting my shit shots where I was very bad. When the director and the editor said, "Oh, let's get this eye right, and let's find." It's not. It's a lot of other people. I'm dependent on them. So, this is not an art that I can do myself alone. We all depend. We all are making a film. Director cannot himself come in the camera and say, "Okay, come on, I'm going to do this." He needs a good actor. And the good actor needs a brilliant director, because, there are a lot of stupid and shit things that we do. And when this gets chopped off at the editing table, and then we see the best part of us, which has been handpicked by two people, the director and the editor. And then comes the background music guy. So he gives it another flip to this story. So it's always kind of adding. So we are all dependent on all these people. So therefore, it's important to work with interesting people.
I want to
I
ask,
use Rahul Bhatt's expression from Black Warren.
Also, you're always shooting through the night most of the time.
Yeah.
So you go back, and how you come back to that character, like in every time I was watching, there was not a single time I saw that, like, I could have, like, saw that you had a bad day, or it's always there, bang on. How come? Like, what is the process? Like, how before you come to set, is there something that you do to come back to that, what you left behind last night, and come back again and do it? Or
But that's called acting.
I know it is, yeah.
I'm paid to do that. But yeah, it's difficult. That's why I said that it's not. It's not always the time.
People in his personal life, he became an absolute asshole to be around with.
Yeah.
In those period of shooting Kennedy, because
It was tough to
Because
be
I
with
could
me.
be like, we also generally on a day, depends on the day. Sometimes your mood swings, you'll be a different, happier person sometimes. But you got to come back to that character, no doubt.
In
But
Kennedy, I was
Kennedy
terrible.
living
man.
that character.
Yeah.
I
You
was
also
very
told
late.
about him not sleeping for
That's
like.
why actors are not allowed. That's why they get all the love and respect. They can't have bad days.
Yeah, they can't have bad days. I cannot come
Because-
show up on his set and say, "Hello, today I'm not feeling like Kennedy." Can we just kind of,
Ask
then there are two
Eisenhower.
people who will say, "Okay, fine, pack up, go home." Actors have to do that. They have to come up and they have to show up. They have to come with the lines and with the scene, and they have to have an idea about it. They have to have an idea about it, that what they are going to do today. I cannot show up on a set and say, "I don't have an idea," or "I don't know my lines," or maybe can we. So
है
what-
वैसे ऐसे कुछ actors हैं
होंगे, but
आ जाते हैं.
Ranjan, from your point of view, I mean, जो आज का ज़माना है, when people are done with films, you spend a lot more effort in promoting the film.
Yeah.
You know, there are travels involved. There's a lot of social media posts involved. There's a lot of promotion happening online, offline, above the line, below the line. How much of that takes away from the whole process of it? Because some people can do it seamlessly because they're, you know, they are brought up. I mean, they're taken from they are a product of marketing. But you guys being, you know, truly believing in the beauty of cinema, how much does that process take away from your art? Because it could be too much to ask sometimes, you know.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't take away anything from the art. See, the thing is, most of our marketing begins from the script stage. So as long as if you are a producer who has done this, so you are looking at the whole journey from day one only, day one or before day one, in fact, before you even greenlight a film, right? So you have to see, or you have been able to see that where will this film go, how will this go. So it's actually very interesting. I love it. There are lots of people. In fact, that's the real challenge. Like you said, today's time, you know, like you saying, film school, filmmaking can be learned from YouTube also. There are a lot of good kids who learn from YouTube and they can make a film.
Actually, a lot of filmmakers
The
down
real
south are
challenge,
coming from
in
YouTube.
fact, is to take the film and the filmmaker to the world. So that's where, in fact, skill lies. A lot of skill lies.
But
Which is where a lot of these, like your film festival or your post, whatever.
But in general, Bollywood, there's very little creativity. They'll do the same mall activations. They go to the radio stations. They'll go to sit down one place, bring journalists.
But that's become a typical marketing.
Because
thing
they're
now.
also making the same films, no? So those things are working for those films.
So just copying the entire template.
Yeah, like I'm saying, the answer is again back like it's business.
It's
So
exhausting
there
for
are,
us as an audience as well. You have to see the same
the
interview.
audience
and-
has to then start showing it in the behavior.
True. I completely agree with you because this is something that we have as a
problem.
group of journalists discussed. We'll wait for 3 years for a 5-minute interview of a star, and we'll be told what not to ask. So
That's the first
that
list
leaves
that is
no
given to
room
you.
for
I know.
spontaneity.
But tell me who created Airport Blues? The star or the media?
Yes. There is a superstar's wife who routinely will insult the journalists, the paps, but the
Yeah.
paps will follow
Will still
her
follow her.
consistently
know,
and
yeah.
say, oh, she's behaved very badly.
Yeah.
So it is a bit of a
Yeah.
chicken and egg situation.
Who
but there's a
started
difference
taking
between
pictures
a-
outside gyms?
No,
The
that's
actors
also
didn't know that they will ever, like yoga classes.
no. I agree, but there is a difference between a paparazzi kind of a culture, a journalism-led culture, which is different, which is dwindling,
Fair
which is
enough.
sad.
Fair enough. Again, a counter question. You tell me 5 interviews that you've really enjoyed in the last 5 years.
The
Of
last
jour-
5 days, I've watched a lot of his interviews. That I can say.
No, from the journalist point of
It
view.
can also get very
See,
boring.
the
you are
thing
right.
is,
Yeah.
it's also on the boards, right?
No,
The
that's why.
person, the journalist also has to learn to ask those questions, right?
Right.
Which are the, that's why I said, how many of interviews, like you are a journalist, like how many of you,
No, there
how many
isn't.
exactly.
You have to go through 100
It's not on the
interviews
stars.
to see
See, the
two.
stars are very smart.
Yeah.
They know how to sell themselves.
Mm.
The day there'll be an intelligent question, there'll be an intelligent answer.
Yes,
No,
absolutely.
I don't agree with you entirely because I'll tell you what, this is a very different space, okay,
Correct.
where we are asking you questions and you're very gracefully and graciously answering everything. When we go, and some of us, we are not film journalists, as in, you know, we are not here to sensationalize anything that you
True.
say. When we ask them about conversations in the industry, for example, when Me Too was
Oh
happening,
God.
you can
I
just
faced
have
it.
an opinion on it without condemning people in your industry, right? You can have an opinion on things that are happening inside your industry. Forget about politics, right? We don't get those answers from stars.
Right.
And Shah Rukh Khan has famously said this, that, you know, what we stand to lose, what stars stand to lose is not just their credibility, but an entire industry that is around them. So it's not as if some of us are not trying, but there is, one, social media has made it much worse.
Yeah.
And, you know, on the contrary, the managers, the middlemen are
Yeah.
actually controlling the
Correct.
narrative.
And
So
there's-
now I have a thing onto that. Like you were saying, there were 5 topics you want to say. Like in this case, you wanted to speak about Me Too and all. But if you're going to use the promotional time for it, because the guy is coming here right now to promote the film, it's economics. Now,
It
in
goes
that
against,
part,
yeah.
he can choose not to talk about this. If you genuinely want to talk
100%.
about the bigger things or the serious things, then also the media houses to do that effort, reach to the star, and then do a non-promotional interview.
100%. But
How many
non-promotional interviews are not
They don't
granted
agree
anymore.
ever.
Exactly. Now, great. I wanted to reach there. Why?
Image management.
that's secondary.
It's
Now
money.
earlier there were 5 magazines. Earlier
Oh.
the stars were so pally with the journalists.
Hmm.
Like the journalists used to be called the best friends of film stars.
Hmm.
They would in fact tell them, right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
There were 5 magazines. Now there are 500.
And Anamika will agree that we have, I mean, I'm not just the community has, the questions are longer than the answers.
Yeah.
And you have to make the star look intelligent.
Yeah,
other side,
no,
the
that's
other side.
specific. Of
Haven't
course,
we done it?
that's very individualistic, na, who we are talking to.
Yeah.
But the overall point, like she was making, na, if you ask me, I completely stand by the talent here when they choose not to talk about, because what gets picked up and what is
No,
the
today
other
the
thing
tru-
is media landscape has fully changed.
Hmm.
Like I keep telling him, and someday probably I'll make him agree. There is a blogger who is coming and wanting to interview him for 1.5 hours in the prime time that I have. I have my film releasing in 10 days.
Hmm.
I have every hour which I want to make the film
Lo-
bigger.
logged.
1.5 hours the guy will come and talk to him, or there are 20,000 followers. He's our 1 million. So who's gaining more?
They are gaining.
He is gaining more. And I'm saying, where is my film? This I could have just posted from your
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah.
The entire media landscape has changed.
That's
He
so true.
himself is a media house now.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't need the media now, but the media hasn't realized this.
Correct.
They
Yeah.
are still falling for the same thing.
Yes.
I don't want to name one of the leading newspapers, the cover page which is
Hmm.
always sold in Bombay, right?
Hmm.
But
Look
now
at their
no-
online
nobody
following.
Hmm.
Nobody
It's hardly
Nobody
there.
does.
Yeah.
Now no
Yeah.
one pays them.
So, and
What-
who
who
are
is
you
the
then?
media then?
Exactly.
So
who is the
media?
media?
Who is the
I am the
media?
media now.
Hmm.
Correct.
But that's exactly
But
what has
that is-
happened.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So, but if the journalist is expecting the same, oh, this guy is not talking. Arre, dude, the media landscape has changed.
Hmm.
My reach is more than you.
Yeah, yeah.
In
Sometimes,
fact, you are interviewing me because you want your blog to be.
no, it
Because
happened.
now I keep a joke of कि अरे मेरे को पता है अभी मेरे को लगता है कि मैंने आपका लाइफ देखा हुआ है पूरा बाइसिकल थीफ देखा फिर यहाँ गया फिर मैं जब मेरे डैड इलेक्ट्रिक उधर चला रहे थे तो हमारे स्क्रीन ऐसा होता था मैं यूं देख भाई 5,000 बार मैं ये क्यों सुन रहा हूँ टेल मी वन ग्रेट इंटरव्यू व्हिच यू हैव रेड
No, there will be people, but he doesn't belong to this generation.
Hmm.
It's also a
Fine,
certain
no even the
era and
kid
age.
Justin I'll tell you a younger guy
Justin
there are
was
good people
Very
everywhere
call.
see they'll also have to build up themselves right because the landscape has definitely changed
Yeah.
अच्छा
Yeah,
ये भी
but
1.5
see-
घंटे से हम कर रहे हैं
वो ज्यादा लोग हैं
Like an easy note play. I think we'll put a wrap to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
You want to ask
any
something?
any last question you can ask and then we'll wrap it up.
No. I was just ending the point. The way That Girl in Yellow Boots was reviewed by Roger Ebert, for example, that kind of film writing which takes the whole process to another level, that is also absent. So when that is absent, the kind of films that you're making, if there are no interpreters in India, then that's also a problem. The problem
It
is not
is.
just with interviews, but also
Yeah.
films.
It's a collective
that are
dumbing
interpreted.
last 60 days that's what we have been discussing that's correct it can affect the film's quality also because if the reviewers or the criticism is going to go down then the filmmaker also doesn't know now have I
But
made a great
what-
film or
what
not
plagues the film industry also now plagues film criticism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know what happens if you're making films in Hindi and film actors don't know Hindi, directors don't know Hindi, the film critics also don't know Hindi.
At
So
least there's a
whenever
level
there's a
playing
film
field.
which is
किसी को कुछ
Hindi
पता नहीं है
and which is about the Hindi belt,
They won't
they
get
are
it.
seeing it from a very English lens.
Yeah.
They're not seeing it from the lens of you need a khabar lahariya kind of an individual also for Hindi films.
like one of the
Hoga
biggest things
Mayapuri
which
and
kept
all.
bothering me from the time we started Nishanji's campaign from April or May it's like stereotyping we were talking कि बॉम्बे के नीचे सब मद्रासी है so उनके लिए वो कह रहे बिहार ये वासीपुर अरे मैं कह रहा हूँ लखनऊ और वासीपुर में 750 किलोमीटर का डिफरेंस है इट्स लाइक यू टेलिंग मी कि बॉम्बे और मडगांव सेम है बट उनको वो समझ ही नहीं आ रहा है उनके लिए बिहार यूपी सेम है
Yeah.
तो हम कह रहे उसके बीच में 5 लैंग्वेज है 5 डायलेक्ट्स है भोजपुरी मगही बनारसी फिर लखनऊ आ रहा है
Maithili.
पर
मैथिली
वो तो एक ही लैंग्वेज में सोच
Right.
अरे कहा भैया
But
बस
trust
वही हो
you
गया।
me, there was not a single journalist who's getting this. नहीं वासीपुरी अरे हम कह रहे नहीं है नहीं है क्योंकि गैंग अरे गैंग तो शोले में भी है तो शोले ही है।
गैंग तो कैरेक्टर बोल रहा है, गैंग थोड़ी ना होता है, क्राइम और एक क्रिमिनल और गैंगस्टर में फर्क नहीं मालूम।
But it's just like right. So we were 60 days we've been discussing कि यार कोई एक ढंग का तो रिव्यू हो जाए फिल्म का।
I want to ask what is the importance of boredom? Or is
Very
it
important. I like being bored. I like being bored. I like to sit and do nothing.
But that's not called being bored. That's
Yeah, but
called
I think that is, I'm saying,
sitting
I
and doing
enjoy it.
nothing is very good.
I love to sit in one chair and do nothing.
I also
All day.
love that.
Ranjan has seen me do that.
No, what I mean is because today with social media, most people are not bored because there's always some stimuli
No,
happening in some
mind
form.
space. Abhi to slowly I'm weaning off. Even
They are actually bored. That's why they are.
Yeah,
they
but
want
you
to
don't
be.
have anything
They're
else
bored
to
in
do.
life.
Yeah, but
So
it's
No, but the
That's
thing
why
is,
they
they
want
don't
to
know
see
how
reels.
to
You're
just
so
be.
bored.
There's
I
no
don't know what to do.
creativity.
So you
They're
see,
already-
The amount of difference moving to Bangalore has made to me is I can sit with myself for so long.
That is that.
You
That's
get-
not called being bored.
Eh?
Being bored is
So
when
क्या
you
मैं
don't
होता हूँ
know. When you get so bored that you start watching something or you want to do something,
Mindless.
you want to play, you want to do something, you want to. That's called being bored.
If you're just sitting with yourself, then you're
That's
probably mindful.
meditative mind.
Then you're
That's
mindful.
very
Just sit
nice
like this.
not to do
I
anything.
think
It's very
boredom
good.
is largely about the space that you get in between and you want to fill it up with creativity. So I think
That's a
boredom
good
is
state.
Writing
That's
is
a very
right.
good state.
You need to be isolated. You need to be in isolation to write.
No,
ये
these two-
आज के लोगों को समझ में नहीं आता उनको कुछ चाहिए stimulus something that is why all these reels and Instagram and
The
social
worst
media because they
invention
can't
of
spend time
mankind.
with themselves
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the word.
The worst invention of mankind
उन्होंने करा।
was there's a mobile phone was not
Silicon
developed, they
Valley ने
put
करा।
camera in it.
उन्होंने
Yeah.
चेंज
हाँ,
किया।
वही।
You don't even
उनको
remember
नहीं देते थे
numbers.
वही।
घंटा उन्हें पता चलता
हाँ,
है
we all
वो बात भी
function
है
in an
number
analog
by heart,
world.
no, I don't.
माइक
भाई
I only know
हाँ तो
Emergency
95
numbers.
numbers.
When we started out in journalism, we used to actually go and get information from
Yeah, yeah.
No, we
libraries.
used to
just that
remember
Google
numbers like
अरे,
on
Yeah.
the tongue.
I did a story
अभी
on
किसी का
Jewish
number नहीं याद
graveyards.
रहता।
Okay.
किसका सब तो
So Jewish
चैट
graveyards
जीपीटी
थे।
से पूछते हो
मुझे अपना नंबर नहीं याद
खाना
रहता,
खाने
मैं
से
किसी
क्या
को
होता है?
देता
I
हूँ।
know.
I went to do a
I will
story on
check.
Jewish graveyards and that was Yellow Pages का time. तो graveyards में से surnames उठा के then I went to the Yellow Pages to see whether these families exist. So because we belong to that generation of
नहीं,
we were the
हम
last
लोग-
of
हम लोग
that.
का
Yeah.
पहले रिसर्च कैसे होता था हम टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया बिल्डिंग में जाते थे हम बैठते थे घंटों और ढूंढते थे आर्काइव्स में से हम इंडियन एक्सप्रेस बिल्डिंग में जाते थे
अब तो एक सेकंड में
हाँ।
देख लो
actual research. No, that is actual
Oh,
research.
what's her name? What Kapoor, that lady who was the greatest journalist of Indian Express.
Kumi Kapoor.
Kumi Kapoor.
Hmm.
वो कुमी कपूर के साथ बैठ के घंटों इंडियन एक्सप्रेस के अंदर से हम लोग माल निकाल रहे हैं हम लोग मतलब लिटरली लाइक
But that's exciting. It had an
वो
excitement.
रिसर्च होती थी हमारी
Hmm.
बट
So
गुलाल के
research
टाइम दैट होल रिसर्च ऑन राजपूत्स
Oh.
we have spent hours and hours just for the first speech of KK Menon
Wow.
of the contribution of Rajput history in like you know
Wow. To build
Indian,
his
right
character.
to write that one
Wow.
monologue to build the whole film
Hmm.
of Swatantra Party, this, that, everything. That's how we used to do this. Now it's like Google.
Hmm.
चैट
ChatGPT.
Right.
Yeah,
GPT.
but I still feel you can still do a lot of good research. It's not like
Yeah,
that.
it's
now
good
it's-
now
it's
you are
like
not
approach
So
approach
your
is
it.
sources are already
No, Google
decided.
is also now. No, Google is
This is
not the
fine.
same
It's
as
not
it was
reliable
15 years
now.
ago. Now Google picks out the prime things
Yeah.
and puts
No,
it up
correct.
front.
Yeah, but
You have to really go down.
yes,
Deep
there are
research,
people
है ना?
who still
Deep
do that.
No, but
Deep
it's
research.
interesting. There are journalists who did not make any money, and I know a couple of them who have now started cleaning up images of people who are controversial and making a lot of money. So unke Google pages में
It's a 10-year-old exercise.
तो हो
गया।
It's a proper
है ना?
activity called cleaning up your social
हाँ.
image.
so it goes into your
It's a task.
your controversial
Yeah,
things would go
yeah.
onto your
Yeah.
30th page, which nobody will look.
Yeah.
So yeah.
बहुत सारा है तो मैं तो सिर्फ
Right.
कंट्रोवर्सी आता है Google
क्योंकि आप
तुमको तो
करते
30 इयर्स लगेंगे वो रिलेट करने में
Thank
They
you.
will
Thank you
Google
so
give up
much,
you.
everyone. That
Thank
brings
you.
us
Google भी
to the
बोलेगा
end of
मैं-
it.
Oh, thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.